Welcome to Gail's Garden, Herbs and More. This picture was taken many years ago when we lived up in the mountains, and this is my daughter when she was little, and she was walking our goat Lily in the little mountain parade. And if we ask the question, do you remember Lily? My kids remember. Of course, my grandkids weren't around, but there's a special story about Lily that I want to share with you. And she was quite the heroine. And but my grandkids now, when my present goats had a little girl, little doe, they named her Lily as well. So our heroine Lily is with us still in a way, in our thoughts and hearts and minds, and she has a namesake. And I'm going to take you outside a little bit and share the namesake with you. So here we go. The one in front here is Elsa, and you've met her before if you've been watching my channel. She's been gone for a while. This is her daughter, Lily, the little one. She's named after the heroine of our story, which I'm getting ready to tell you about. I thought you might enjoy hearing the story. It's a little sad, but it just shows how smart goats can be and what wonderful mothers they can be. This little Lily, she's a sweetheart, really pretty. Now, her brother doesn't look like her. He is real pretty. She's pretty too, but he just looks different. He looks more like his daddy, Bucky. But he's got beautiful blue eyes set with dark patches of dark, like black and brown and white patches, and just placed gorgeously and just bright and vibrant looking. He's up for sale. My daughter has him over there. But let me tell you the story of Lily, because that's who we're talking about. Do you remember Lily? We lived up in the mountains, and my kids were little. And we decided we didn't get away very much because we had like 50 rabbits. We had chickens and turkeys and ducks and goats and a huge garden. My hands were full. Plus I homeschooled. And my hands were really full. I was very busy, so I didn't get away much. But went away that weekend with a very good friend of mine and her husband. And a few hours away, but I felt really uneasy, like something was wrong. And I remember laying there that night thinking, I just need to go home. So in the morning, we left fairly early. We had spent pretty much most of the day before visiting and that evening. But I just was very uncomfortable. I didn't know what it was. But when we got home, we found out there were two big Rottweilers there. And thankfully, we had our dog in the pen, or they probably would have killed him. They got into some of our rabbits, but they got into the goat pen. And we had a neighbor's goats were overbreeding with our buck. And that was not good. But they killed Lily, these two Rottweilers. But let me tell you what she did first before they killed her. I have to explain, because we found her body up against this huge oak that was laying down that we had cut. I mean, it was a gigantic oak tree. And it was hollow in the middle, and we were afraid of it falling on us or the goats or something. So we had cut it, and it was laying across inside the goat pen. And she's just not sure about Charmaine yet. Charmaine just wants to play. She's a big puppy, and she thinks the goats are dogs, I guess. But anyway, there's some hay in their water. I just put some fresh hay in there for them not long ago. But anyway, back to our story that this little Lily's named after. We found her body laying up against this big, big oak tree. And when the other goats were bit, and I had to get antibiotics from the vet and give them shots and stuff and clean them up. But they made it. I couldn't milk for a while because of the antibiotics. But what was really sad was Lily was dead. And when we went to remove Lily's body, underneath her was the baby still alive. And she had sacrificed herself for her baby. She put it up against, they couldn't get through that big old oak tree, and then she laid on top of it on the other side. So it was her body, the baby, and the oak tree. and the oak log, whatever you want to call it. It's not a log. It was just this huge tree laying on the ground. But she knew the baby would be safe, and she sacrificed her life. And it was very sad, but it shows you what heroism mamas can have. And these are Nigerian dwarves, and our other Lily was a small Nubian. Our other Nubians were a little bigger than her. But they all made it, but not Lily. The dogs would have tore that baby to pieces because it was small. And what's really sad is I know that it's been a long time ago, like over 30 years ago, but my grandkids, they weren't around then, as I said, but they know this little Lily. And we always remember the other Lily. She was a sweetheart, like I showed you my daughter walking her in the parade, and then she had her baby, and she was a good milker too, just a great little goat, easy to handle because she wasn't huge, and gave a lot of milk, unbelievable to be just a small Nubian. She wasn't a miniature Nubian, it's just she was a small Nubian. But yeah, that's the story of our heroine. I just thought I would share it with you. I thought it was an interesting story, especially for goat lovers. And sharing that I do have my goats back, at least these two. Tamara still has Becky. And yeah, and this is our little Lily that everybody loves. She is just the sweetest little thing. Kind of like she's her namesake, huh? If you like my channel, please give me a thumbs up. I try to do different things that will interest a lot of different people. I talk a lot about herbs, though, and different things in country life. So, and she tried to make friends. When she wants to make friends, she brings over a toy or one of her babies and drops it in front of them. And she did that this morning. She brought her little baby over and dropped it in front of the fence. Like, you want to play? I want to be friends. And my little male Chihuahua is very defensive over the female Chihuahua. And he doesn't like her in the house. But she comes in, just for a minute or two sometimes. And we let them out of their cage and different things, but or outside they may be out to go potty or something, and he's just defensive wherever he's at. And but Charmaine wants to make friends with him. So several times she's taken a toy and dropped it in front of him and backed up like, see, I'm not going to hurt you. Here's a toy. I'm sharing my toys. Animals are just so fascinating to me. They're like little children in a lot of ways. They're just very, very interesting. And it's been very hot, so it's hard to play when it's so hot, huh, Charmaine? Is it hot? Is it hot, baby girl? But anyway, so this has kind of been an animal video. I hope you all enjoyed and have a great week. Bye now.